Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Cafe Anyway. I'm Mike Matthews, your host. And
anyway,
this is where we do a show about podcasting, and I sing to the song. Hey, it's Friday. I'm Mike Matthews. Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast. We're at Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont, the last place on earth.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Let me read you a text that I got yesterday. That bleep is always late. LOL.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Conversely, someone also wrote, OMG, that woman has always been intolerable. She always had an excuse for being 45 minutes late. My name is Paul. And insisting on forcing her way into the studio. I don't know who they're talking about. Oh, yes, I really do know. But I don't want to mention anything else other than
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I have corroboration. Corroboration? Is that it? Or collaboration? It's corroboration.
Mike's
That's what we
Daily
have on this show.
Podcast.
But apparently we don't have.
Yeah!
With the Kavanaugh. So Kavanaugh is squeaky clean. He's completely innocent. That's right. He is the most loyal, wonderful man that ever lived. I so want him to have a lifetime kingship appointment where he can rule upon the laws of the land. I want him to have that because I am a friggin' idiot. Look who walked in. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How's y'all doing? It's my horse Sterling.
It's just gonna feel better tell you
What?
I'm really tired today, so I can't argue with you, even though I want to disagree with you vehemently.
Vehemently?
Yeah, but Benita kept me up all night because she talks to me all night long and talks and talks.
We have all these things that we like to talk about, and so does Nelly. Oh, that's sweet. Look who else walked in. I forgot who it was. Oh my gosh, I wrote down the wrong name on the blog, on the bloggity blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. But I guess you're here. Hi, Mike, it's me, John Deere, the engineer, but I did bring a friend with me.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Oh, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. Oh boy, have some or I'll cut you.
He says that to everyone, Mike, don't be frightened. Frightened? Oh no! I was walking past. Oh, hi, Basil. 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 You know, the point is, I was walking past Castro Valley High School a week ago. I was really worried, by the way, last night because my dog was not walking very well. He hurt his paw, one of his back paws. There was a cat, and he got all excited, and we're walking on our walk, and his back legs, he can't lift them as well, and he scraped the nail so bad, it cut it to the quick, and it started bleeding. I mean, it was bad. Luckily, I have learned in my James Bondian sort of way to always carry a bunch of Kleenex. Not Kleenex, but paper towels. I'll grab a couple paper towels, napkins. If I go into like I don't know, what's the last place I went into? I went into Cafe Rumi in Podcastro Valley. I grab some napkins, shove them in my pocket, and if I see, something like, just napkins come in handy, paper towels for all kinds of things. So, I'm wrapping them around his paw, and he's able to walk home. Actually, I had to carry him up the stairs, and then yesterday he convalesced all day, but I did want to take him out for just a tiny walk, and he was just not having it. I put these little rubber booties on him to try and get him to walk, but he was not really into it. But my lovely lady friend helped me so much, and a big thank you to her, because without her, I don't know if I could have... But Basil was a little bit better today. He was walking a little bit better. So he's 10. And as I've learned from other boxer owners, this happens. It's their back legs. And sometimes it's their front legs, too. But right now, it's the back legs with Basil. So boxers, by the way, I had explained this to someone yesterday. To someone who wants to be on the show, a guy named Carl. I go, I told him, I have a boxer. He's like, what's that? A boxer? You don't know what it looks kind of like a pit bull. But they have a much more jowly face, kind of a droopy face. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Castro Valley High School. I'm walking past it last week. They're getting ready for their homecoming game, and they have a big performance that I guess their theater group puts on, where they play over the loudspeaker system a pre-recorded track. And on it, so they play the pre-recorded, and because it's kids today, they got to have their stupid, stinking, awful rap. Hip-hop I'm okay with, because they sing, even though I hate auto-tuning. But kids love it. They don't even know they're auto-tuning. Oh, they sing like that. They love the auto-tuning. God, it's awful. So they're playing this rap, and I just hate... Here's why I hate rap. I had this discussion yesterday with a guy who loves heavy metal. And he loves the metal. And all I have is this. This isn't really metal, but... Good. But a little guitar, a little drum, just banging away, the cool little bass line, some crazy wild vocals. I like that. That's some cool things. A little something like this.
That's life.
Oh, that's some good rock and roll right there.
All the people say.
That's some good metal. No, that's not metal. But at any rate, I'm not a fan of rap because it's always the same topic. It's like, look how much what I got, and I live in a bad area, and I have a hot lady that I refer to over and over again by a certain word that rhymes with itch, and then I had to shoot that guy, and I had to shoot that guy, and look at me, and I'm cooling, and I'm rolling, and I'm driving and stuff. And I think because they come up with some pretty crazy, cool lingo that, let's say, someone of my ethnicity, which is white man, we can't come up with these words. We just don't have that capacity in our brains to come up with cool slogans and such. And we would never come up with poetry as this. These lines that I think it has this universal fascination. Oh, and you can dance to it. The fact that you can dance to it is probably the most important thing. Because I was listening to Reverb with this guy. Oh, what's his name? I'm going to get it as I am looking through the internet world. He was talking about the wonders of the song Enjoy the Silence, and about how where did it go? Oh my gosh, somehow it got completely deleted from... Oh, here you are. Oh, yeah, he was talking about how the song Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode, all I ever wanted, this one. That's actually his version of it. He put it together. And what's his name? We're going to find out what his name is in just a moment. But he was talking about how this was going to be a ballad. And
greetings and salutations, humanoids. William Kirk here again.
William Kirk.
Back with another episode.
So William mentions in this video that the song was going to be a ballad. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in your arms. But they added a dance track. They added this doon 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 doon, and the whole the oscillating bass line and all that. I think he plays that a little bit here. Let's see. And when that came out in the early 90s, late 80s, you couldn't not dance to that. So we need to dance, is what I'm saying, and have some fun. Doon doo 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 doon 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 doon. Groove is in the heart. Anyway, I hate rap. I love hip hop. All right, I guess I do love some hip hop. The point is, rap can be trite And it gets a little bit unoriginal. That's what I'm saying. The point is, kids love it. Or they love hip-hop. And they were playing it at this thing at Castro Valley High School. This little performance where they're dancing to this track. And there's some dialogue on it. And they're acting like they're talking. They like lip sync to this. Have you ever seen this? Am I describing something you've never seen? They do this at churches, too. They get a bunch of kids. They'll have this pre-recorded track, and the kids listen to this track over and over again, and they come up with this choreography, and the kids will lip sync even the talking parts, so it looks like as if the kid is actually talking. I don't know what I'm describing this thing all right now. At any rate, they used this sound effect that I just played, and I heard that as I'm walking Basil the Boxer, and I'm like, oh my god, I know that sound effect. Anyway, have you seen those things where they go, all I ever wanted, okay, let's talk about these guys for a second. Everyone. Speaking of white.
What we know for sure is the FBI report did not corroborate any of the allegations against Judge Kavanaugh.
Hi, I'm Mitch McConnell, and the whole bottom part of my face has melted away, and now I talk like this. Blah, 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 blah.
Now, the fun part is when we get to Chuck Grassley. What the hell is this accent? And Chuck Grassley, so he lays into the Democrats here.
Before I say a few words, so I won't have to announce.
And the media.
The person after me is going in this. The 87th day. That's 3 weeks longer than the average of the last 3 or 4 nominees.
Now, let me tell you now.
Don't tell me you haven't spent enough time.
Oh, no, we've spent enough time.
Also, I feel very good about where this nomination is right now.
I'm really
that those qualifications.
Where's the part where he yells at the media?
We're going to do everything we can.
He yelled. He yelled at him
about who the person was in the Feinstein letter, Dr. Ford.
Here he goes. Now he goes.
I read about her name in the paper. We got on it right away to provide the forum she wanted. And in turn, we provided the same forum for Kavanaugh. But what I've been dealing with since July the 10th, the downhill slope that Schumer's put us on, is really dealing with the demolition derby.
Demolition derby!
And they just about destroyed a good person to be on the Supreme Court. So, hopefully we're 48 hours away from having a new person.
The podcast picture, by the way, as I pot down and turn the volume down on that idiot.
Chuck Grassley, I just had a couple of things. You doing the slamming and the hip-hopping. I mean, really was a deal with that.
That's what the sound of my stomach. Chuck Grassley is the sound my stomach makes. Hey, this show's been entertaining, hasn't it? No? Not really? Okay. Hey, we can shoot down drones now. Yay! I hate drones. I almost got hit in the head by a drone. Basil almost got chopped up by a drone. So we kind of don't hate drones. No, we don't kind of hate drones. We hate them. So let's see. Oh, here comes one right now. And God! Woo! Gone. No more drones. So, yeah, the U.S. government agencies, I guess, military and whatnot, police, they can shoot down drones now. Woohoo! It's going to be a fun time. I might do some drone shooting this weekend. Hey, did you get that national alert? Speaking of looking at our phones and reading funny messages. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. Hey, one quick question. So, we have this new agreement that came out with Trump,
which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Called the USMCA. So that's, of course, U.S., then Mexico, then Canada. How did Canada get at the end of that? What was that about?
Take off, you hosers.
What was that all about?
What was that all about?
The question I'm asking. How did the U.S. got in the front, obviously. Mexico right afterwards, because we love the Mexico. And without the Mexico, there really wouldn't be a California. Mexico owned California. Much of our culture derives from Mexico. So, but anyway, did you get that alert, that national alert that came out on the emergency test? First off, do you get those Amber Alerts? I think everybody's cell phone gets an Amber Alert. Okay, I think the last one was a 2002 Black Ford Fusion. That was on Monday, actually. No, a couple weeks ago. And then I also have this test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. No action is needed. No, it just scared the crap out of everyone at 11:20 in the morning. Thank you for that. It doesn't look like a mushroom. It's huge. Trust me, it's huge. Huge. It's, yeah, that was the national alert we got. I don't mean to be bitter. I don't want to be bitter. But I just want to say women matter. That's what I want to say. And corroboration. If the FBI, and now everyone hates the FBI, huh? That's what happens with, well, they hated the FBI for a second, and now they hate the White House because the White House gives the FBI the basic questions, the direction, the focus of what they need to look at when they did this extra, well, it was supposed to be a week, wasn't it? And it didn't even last that long. So they got to nothing. They got no corroboration. And so the Republicans are, you just dragged his name, Brett Kavanaugh. No, you know what? His name is dragged. It's already been dragged. It's gone. It's down. This will follow him forever for the rest of his days. But the Washington Post had a writer, I forget her name, that wrote about how, you know, because the president seemed to think it was so funny to go, Blasey Ford couldn't remember anything. Whoa, what's that all about? What's that all about? And the thing is, you don't remember a lot of this stuff. And if you've been abused, if horrible trauma like this has happened to you. And the Washington Post writer said, hey, dads, you don't know what your daughters have been to because your daughters are not telling you. And she found out that a lot of women who have been through this abuse, they don't tell their dads because they know their dads are going to either A, kill the guy, or B, they're going to break down and cry and they don't know if they can handle that. Or, you know, they're going to cause some kind of pain to their dad. And it was a fascinating topic, and that a lot of men don't know is what it comes down to. And all those white men, as we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring in Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley, they don't know. And all they care about is Brett Kavanaugh, where they had hundreds and hundreds of men and women to choose from to become the new Supreme Court Justice, and they had to put their fort around this guy. They had to say, oh, this is the one. How dare... and then, so they didn't even go that far. Can I tell you this? Yesterday, I heard this. I'm going to try and find this really fast. This guy, his name is Dennis Prager. And, oh, Lord, he said something yesterday, if I can find
35. Breaking news and analysis at time.
Back in a moment.
The Dennis,
usually male, but can be both.
This is Dennis Prager.
Junior Natural Resources Management. Also, New York Post. You just sent it to me. The New York Post has a piece, which is each other.
Oh, I think it was right around here.
Because, what is it? What was the famous statement? We will either fight together or die separately. Announce that how you have led your life since high school. And I don't believe the charges are accurate, but the statement is nevertheless how you have led a whole life since high school. Doesn't matter if we caught you on something in high school.
That's what he's saying. He's saying basically you could go and murder someone in high school and it doesn't. And he said, why should we bring up something you did in high school? Because it's going to come back to haunt you later. Yeah. That's right. That's right, Dennis Prager. Oh, and he went on to say, and I'm not going to keep searching around trying to find it. He said, because he's Jewish, and he said to a rabbi, how can I get forgiveness? And the rabbi said, you got to take these pillows. Basically, I'm going to zip through the story. Basically had Dennis Prager get some pillows, chop them up, throw all the feathers in the wind, and then Dennis Prager said, am I forgiven? And the rabbi said, now go get the feathers, and once you get the feathers, you'll be forgiven. Basically, he was saying you can never be forgiven, which Dennis Prager touts himself, even though he's Jewish, he's a Christian. It can happen. And he was like, these people on the left can't be forgiven, which I'm like, that's the most Christian thing I've never heard. That is ridiculous. That kind of.
And he voted her out.
Sean, can you tell me, what was Jeff Flake's name before he changed it?
You know what? I think it was born that way.
So these guys were in, I don't even know their names, they were in for Dennis on Monday, and they were railing against Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake made a wise move, okay? He got an investigation. He was bipartisan, which is so frickin' under the and this is both sides. Both sides are being so corroborating. No, collaborating, let's say.
Sad to say.
Jeff Weasel.
Yeah.
And then he changed the Flake.
Yeah, but, I thought it was bad. But, well, listen.
Those morons.
Mentioned Feinstein received his moderate only by comparison to her colleague Barbara Boxer. And for all of your national listeners, on the national scene, these two...
This national scene, I don't even know who this moron is.
What the hell? Get your denture down before you try and make a point. Oh, and then this guy, finally, I've talked about this idiot before. He was...
This is something that I am addressing in a townhall.com column that will run tomorrow. Is a basic of human decency. It's what you afford anybody who's accused of anything. Same thing with requiring evidence. An allegation is made. Well, what's the evidence? That's the first question. You don't accept an allegation on face value. This believe women thing is a scam.
This believe... There you go. That sums it all up. That's the Republican Party right now. They hate women. Believe women? It's a scam. Oh, my God. Oh, God, this guy. That's Mark Davis. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, listening to my podcast, which is probably 5 people, if I'm lucky. I hear this all day long. All day long at my job. I hear this. To say that my head can spin around, it spins around regularly. I look like the girl from The Exorcist all day long because of idiots like that, saying idiotic things like that. And in the calls they get, at least Michael Medved puts on the air the calls from San Francisco, where they are asking questions regarding the whole thing. And hey, Michael, what about this? What about that? What about how there really wasn't enough time? How come they didn't interview Blasey Ford, etc.? Michael Medved will answer those, and he'll say things that are point well taken. That a lot of what the Democratic Party is doing in trying to combat the Brett Kavanaugh thing is like a bar fight. It's like grabbing whatever bottle you can, breaking off the end, and going, "I'll cut you," just like you, Brewmaster.
I never say that. Oh, boy.
And that's right.
That's right, Jack.
So the point is that there is the end of the show. Thank you for listening. Sorry I got political again. It's the times that we live in. I am a little bit worried about all the protesting going on in Washington, that something really bad's going to happen with all that. Someone might do something crazy. But at the same time, people got to say what they got to say. Just like I'm saying what I say. Just like those idiots I just played say what they say. That's just the way we go in this world. Am I going to do a Super Secret Sunday show? I don't know. Probably not. Because I'm going to be watching all kinds of... I'm going to be watching Doctor Who. Because Doctor Who finally makes her debut on Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to that. So thank you for listening to the show. If you would like to comment, if you are foaming with foment, please, you can call me 336MM Daily. That's 336MM Daily. Or email me mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. And Ariel will say all these again. Hope to talk to you soon. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Matt Rutabaga. That's right. And Valentino and Bison Bentley. Thank you for listening to episode 1718. 1718. Gracias.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!
Ooh, in the podcast picture today, I got a little sidetracked. Is of the cool boats at this new harbor they created recently, I guess in the past couple of years, at Lake Merritt. Basil was at Lake Merritt yesterday. Today, some boats at Lake Merritt. Enjoy that picture from Oakland last week at mikesdailypodcast.com.